All right. Well, I'm Dan Mazza.
I'm Robert Mazza.
The concept of this show today is just to kind of highlight the 3 best photos we have thus far from 2020. We're halfway through the first month of January of 2020. So kind of just seeing what we've been able to capture in that short period of time. So
Yeah.
I know personally I'm not going to have like any crazy winners, but like it's I think a neat thing to see
Yeah.
what we've been able to create
Yeah, I would agree.
in this first month. So yeah, let's just get it started. Do you want to start with the first photo?
Sure. All right. So these are going to be somewhat of a surprise, hopefully.
Yeah, I haven't seen
Although,
any of these.
unless
yet.
I think you've probably seen this first one that I got for you.
You've probably seen a couple of mine too, but that's fine.
All right. So this is kind of my my sleeper shot. Oh, there it goes.
Oh.
So it's pretty straightforward, obviously. A bag of beans. But I'll tell you why I like it. So
Yeah.
to me, it kind of looks like some sort of like mad scientist, like warehouse scene. It's kind of got that overhead light, and then the like white sterile looking bag.
Dude, yes.
And then of course focus on those greasy beans. And then in addition to that, if you look in the corners, it kind of, I don't know what was going on in the corners, but there's a little black speck in at least 3 of the corners. And then on the bottom right as well. So it kind of frames it nicely. So
Dude, I think that's a strong photo. I really dig the contrast between the green and the white. It kind of adds to that sterile kind of mad scientist vibe.
yeah,
It
just like
almost just looks,
plain backdrop.
they're unique colors, you know? And then that beam just pops.
Yeah, it kind of looks, yeah, it is unique colors. Like I feel like I never take shots that are in this like weird kind of inside light.
Dude, cool.
So
Yeah, I think that's strong.
yeah.
It's a unique coffee photo. I mean, we've all seen a million coffee photos. It's like, how do you stand out?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I definitely have plenty myself, and that was one that stood out.
Cool. We'll start with this one. I think you've seen it. But yeah,
I have seen this, but it is very nice.
pretty straightforward shot. You know, there's nothing crazy going on here. It's just a scene from Flathead Lake. Our cousin lives on the lake now, or he's renting a place there. And, you know, I've been kind of trying to do a little bit more black and white this year. And just in general, I've been trying to do a little more black and white. In this scene, there wasn't really any meaningful color in the scene. That's
Right.
when I normally default to black and white, and there's a lot of texture, and yeah, just it's I kind of just, it just seems so clean to me, and I like the symmetry. Obviously, you know,
Yeah. Oh, it's great. It's very. I mean, the composition is what stands out to me. It seems like it follows like the rule of thirds. You know, there's just that serious horizon, and then that kind of shelf of clouds breaks up the image nicely. And also the docks are like all the way, you know, in the water. It doesn't like go on and break that horizon, so it kind of works out well.
yeah, yeah.
And it's very still. Obviously, that water is kind of nice, subtle, like ripple.
I know, I was kind of debating, on this trip I wish I had brought my tripod, because like one thing I'd really like to do is make those pillars just like standing in like a foggy water, you know, like if I was able to do a long exposure.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But I think the crispness works too, you know. Pillars and water's been overdone too as far as long exposure, or not overdone,
Yeah.
but it's not anything new. But yeah, this
Oh, no,
one,
that's a great shot.
you know, I think it.
Great contrast too.
Yeah, so no, that's
Beautiful.
Flathead Lake for you.
It's our backyard.
Yeah.
This shot. So this one stood out for a few different reasons. One, just the light kind of kissing those rocks up there, that wall. And then in addition to that, I guess the gradient in the sky I was a fan of.
Yeah.
Although I took another shot in that day that had a better, more clear sky that I think worked better with like the gradient look, but that kind of gets the idea. And then kind of these like, just like old dead trees just standing there looming in the foreground.
Dude, it looks
mostly the light on the rocks is what I liked. But I wish they were like a little bit more punchy, Maybe I should have, like I probably bumped the shadows up too much. Maybe I should have just kept it more like stark contrast.
It's hard. I think this, to me, it looks just looks raw in a good way, like in an unpolished, almost Montanan kind of way.
Yeah,
it's like,
but it's also crazy to think that's like right next to Missoula.
Dude, yes, I think you did a good job capturing the unfiltered side of kind of a lot of our valleys. It's not these absolutely pristine areas. They don't knock down the trees. The trees just fall down on their own. And you'll have these just scraggly looking dead guys, and it's just, it kind of, I don't know, it seems like a time passage thing. It just looks big, epic. And
I definitely want to go back to this spot. Like, this wouldn't be my go-to composition if I had to shoot this valley for like a day. But because it's almost so like, I guess with the wide angle, it kind of like, maybe distorts things a little bit, but it looks kind of funky. Like the wall looks really extreme right there.
Dude,
which it was, but
it was,
that lens accentuates that.
Oh, dude, cool.
Yeah. Image 2.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
Ooh.
So, so the story behind this, we were just walking downtown, and I had this, like, just on a mission a couple days ago. I was like, I'm bringing the camera, and, like, I'm really just gonna try to fire off a couple shots. This cat was just sitting underneath this apartment complex, and I actually shot a cat there earlier that day too, but this one just had so much more personality. As you can see, it kind of has that one eye. It looks like maybe it got in a fight or something. Just a little bit of more personality to it, and the background I think just falls away in a nice, appropriate way. It was like this deck that just went on for like 45 feet. And
oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's
what
just
a cool looking cat.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know,
Staring right into your soul.
Dude, exactly, yeah. I've gotten a lot of funny cat photos. I don't know. I think they're just...
Oh, nice. No, it looks great. I like the composition.
Neat creatures.
Oh, man, It looks really well.
Yeah.
Dang. Cool.
Yeah, townie.
Nice, Scraggly cat. I've got mixed feelings about this shot. But, this was taken yesterday, actually.
Nice.
I'm not a fan of, like, the sunburst shots, typically. I think it can be kind of cheesy. But in addition to that, there's other interesting things in my opinion. I do like the shadows. They're just nice and clear. You can actually see what's going on in the shadows too, which is kind of rare.
And they're all, I think it's super subtle, but it's like sunburst shots, I agree with you, they can be overdone real quickly, but you've got a lot of things I think working with it, which is like the lines of these shadows are drawing right towards the sun, and in a way that like they're working for each other,
right?
In a cool way.
It does make sense in that way, I suppose.
And the long shadows it kind of reminds me of early January in Montana, super long shadows.
Yeah, I mean, to get sun shots in this, this time of year is kind of rare. I mean, it also goes to show, like, it is a good opportunity to do things in black and white this time of year.
Yeah. Like the color isn't always, the contrast is almost better than the color.
I would agree totally. And if you blew it up or zoomed in, you can actually see, it's really subtle, but flecks of snow.
Flecks of snow right there.
And then, so I just was curious and pulled it into Instagram, and they down-res it so much that like you can't even see any of those. So it's like, I don't know, it kind of works, but it's really pretty subtle. But it was fun, I guess.
Dude, cool. I dig that.
Black and white is also something I'm trying to do more.
It is the black and white time of year.
Yeah.
There's so much good white around us, and the only thing that's going to stand out is something that's dark. The contrast, it just is so nice this time of year.
Exactly. I mean, it is edited a little,
Yeah.
course, but it's.
But subtly. I mean, obviously you could have pushed those shadows and kept
Oh yeah.
done a ton of detail back
Totally.
there. But like, you know, I think that's you're not trying to highlight that.
Yeah. Exactly.
Dude, cool.
So.
I can dig it.
3.
Is another portrait. Or not portrait. For anybody that doesn't know, in Missoula, this guy is a staple of Missoula. I call him Old Man. I'm sure a lot of other people call him Old Man.
He's iconic.
I used to live next to this guy for many years, and so I really know this guy pretty well. Apparently, he's on a silent protest.
Yeah.
And
Last we heard.
I've tried to talk to him about 100 times. He's very stoic and quiet. But his deal is he just sits outside no matter rain, shine, and just watches cars all day. And so actually this was yesterday, and it was just the blue light. I was coming home from a big hike, and I just saw him, and I was like, I gotta flip it around. And so I flipped the car, parked it, and then I came over and I walked towards him. And I don't shoot in blue light enough, you know? And, I was like, man, it doesn't get much bluer than this. I didn't do anything to the temperature of this photo. And he was just doing his thing, sitting next to his truck.
That's hilarious. I haven't seen that yellow jacket on him before, too, so.
It's good to know he's staying warm.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's out there in the thick of it sometimes.
Yeah. He promptly got up after this photo and went inside.
He said, that's it.
He said that was it, yeah.
Yeah, protest is done for the day.
Yeah.
No, it's nice, very just like kind of ordinary shot. Just documenting.
Yeah, trying to do a little bit more like people, street stuff.
Yeah. And cool light in the way background. It looks like maybe it was like the cross street, like but just kind of like further down the sidewalk. There's like that nice.
Yeah, there's some reds and purples kind of back there, and then like these nice. I think the yellow is the exact opposite of blue. The complementary colors. I think it fills out the rest of the frame quite nicely.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Those are my 3 shots.
Cool. All right.
Yeah. One other thing that we kind of wanted to bring into the show is doing 3 of our own shots, and then maybe 1 shot that inspired us, or something that we, thought was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And so we got a couple. I don't even know if my photo is from 2020 either.
But let's just say, or I'm gonna say that this photo's hopefully gonna inspire me. All right.
Cool. Do you want to go?
I'll go first. Yeah.
Okay.
So mine is actually kind of a carousel photo or whatever. So there's multiples, but
cool.
This is a shot from, or I guess a shoot from this guy named Willem Verbeek. He's starting to be pretty well known in street photography, especially in New York or on the East Coast. But this photo stands out. He posted this a few months back, but it's just like, it's iconic him in my opinion, and for a lot of reasons.
Verbeek?
No, no, it's not a self-portrait. He's shooting this guy.
Okay, cool.
So he does a lot of in-studio shooting, but he also does a lot of like outdoor street photography, especially in like neighborhoods, very ordinary neighborhood street photography. And it's kind of getting close to that line of, in my opinion, starting to be like a lazy photographer, or is it really like stylistic? And is he being intentional? I think he's being intentional. He like talks through it all in his videos, so he's got good intentions, but some of them are like, they're very subtle.
Yeah.
Dude, stuff like that.
It's kind of timeless. It's hard to necessarily nail down whether or not this was taken.
Cinematic too. Like,
Yeah, when were these photos taken? It's not like he's only showing you what he wants you to see.
Yeah. And I mean, there's something to it. I mean, it's definitely pleasant to look at, but it's I think it's pushing things. Pushing the boundary a little bit, but yeah, that's
cool.
That's
a
this
neat
guy was just
spotlight.
So hopefully do more street stuff in 2020.
Right on. Yeah. Amen to that. So my photo, a photo from Victor Costa, on the Pink Lemonade page. So if you don't know what Pink Lemonade is, it's just an art page. Go check it out. And it just, I don't know, something about it just looks so like apocalyptic in a sense, but people are still getting after it, just surfing the waves. And I just love the color. It's just so crappy in a sense, but like that is, I'm sure, what it looked like that day, and it's
Yeah.
it's just how dark and
Oh my
ominous.
gosh, yeah. I
And
mean,
people are just getting after it.
yeah. I mean, it's
I
good to
love
be, by the water in situations like this, but holy cow, that does not look healthy.
No.
And it's like you can't even. It's a high quality photo. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
like the background is just like, it's just whack. It's like there's no detail or anything, but
Yeah.
holy cow,
Awfully
nice
simple.
light on the water though.
Yeah. Dude, the gradient into this gradient, I think, just
Jeez.
is strong.
Yeah, people still getting after it.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah. So that's kind of, who knows what this is going to become, but, I think me and Robert both take enough photos that we should just chat about them every once in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of our 3x3, and hopefully many more to come. Thanks for watching.
Yeah. Thank you.